Welcome back, everybody. Found this video I wanted to react to. A link to the full video is going to be in the description. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into this.
I was a runaway bride, essentially.
You left him at the altar?
Yeah,
And how long has it been, by the way, since all this happened?
12 years,
So
You want to shoot your shot with the man that you left at the altar?
literally.
12 years later, all of a sudden, you know what? I have regret. I wonder if she checked on him one time, even after she left him at the altar. Could you imagine being on your wedding day and you show up and your wife or your potential wife, that somebody you thought was the love of your life, doesn't even show up? Then 12 years later wants to reach back out and see, oh my God. I wouldn't even answer. I'd crash out. I wouldn't even answer.
With no call. This is the first time I'm hearing from you in 12 years. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I've not spoken to you in 12 years.
He a better man than me. I wouldn't even talk to her. The moment I heard her voice, it would have been click, and I would have went on with my happy life. There's no way I would allow any type of energy from a person like that back into my life, even if I wanted closure. I don't want it. You can have it.
You just literally vanished.
I thought that I wanted to have the whole college experience of the whole hookup culture and dating, and I thought that
Yeah, a lot of girls thought they wanted that too.
was going to bring me satisfaction. I thought that that was going to bring me fulfillment. I thought that I was going to enjoy that, but I actually truly hated it. Feeling
What?
confused and feeling used. That's the best way I can describe my single era and like the type of men that I was dating. And that is when I knew that these men that I was dating before, these were not men from the Lord.
These were not men from the Lord. You mean to tell me you were going out and sleeping with these guys?
did you?
In the back of your mind, you were like, yeah, these are from God. These men are of the Lord. The guy that calls me over and wants to drink or smoke or just have sex. These are the guys right here. Absolutely insanity. I like how she realizes this after the fact, now that she's looking for something. Absolutely insane.
Who do you go for? That one, this one, or this one?
Neither.
None of them.
Why?
I can tell you all three. You would have told me she was over a roster, and if she's her friend, and she's her friend, none of them are good.
Facts.
Science. What do you think is the body count?
I'ma say 15,
I said none of them, but I'm not gonna lie, she has potential.
15, and I'ma say over 20.
The body count?
Truly,
What's your body count?
4, 4,
So what's the perfect
Did you hear that? What she said?
body count?
truly,
What's your body count?
4, 4.
And yours is like 3, as if she's trying to shame him for having a low body count.
So what's the perfect body count for a woman?
For a woman, I'ma say under 7. Under 7.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Damn. So
I think one of the things that needs to be talked about more is when guys, like the number of bodies that the average guy thinks the average girl has, right? And again, there are a lot of girls out there who have low body counts, right? But at the same time, there are a lot of guys that severely underestimate the average girl body count. And you don't really realize this until you're trying to, like when I was going through like my player phase and things of that nature, where you're trying to like get to know them. I would love to have conversations just because I wanted to get inside, like, who do you know? What do you know? You know, those type of things. And the stories that you hear, man, you're like, oh my gosh, to where a woman racking up 5-10 bodies in a summer is not even, it's not special.
Anything above is crazy.
none of these can have a chance.
Not a chance. What? You gotta be worthy of yourself, man. You're worth more than that.
But you don't think high body count means more experience?
More experience? I don't give a fuck about more experience.
Yeah, me either.
Shit, what do you rate them then?
Let's get the ratings.
I'm quite literally rolling around in horse trying to get this bottom thing off my car. I don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna cry. I'm trying to get this off.
You know what's funny about that? I feel like as men we have these collective experiences to where you've had car trouble, like barely any money. The only amount of money you have is just for a tow. But something happens to your car and you just stand outside your car and you're just so frustrated. But as men, again, we had to figure that shit out. We had to figure out something that happened. So
And I need a screwdriver to take it off.
is she cutting it with a pair of scissors?
I just wish someone would pull over and help me.
there's a crime, whenever there's a crying woman, there's a man showing up. Listen, this is, I talk about this so much. Listen, they shit on so many average guys. Look at this guy. I don't know him. He could be a crazy high performer, all that, but 9 times out of 10, this is your average run of the mill guy. Sees a girl on the side of the road and he's like, you know what? Let me go out and help her. Listen, I'm gonna say this now. You not getting that from me. I drive right past them. You know what I'm saying? That's the men of your life. I don't know what to tell you, sweetheart. It's not gonna be me no more. But of course, right?
Thank you so much.
There was
Yeah, of course.
Told me he didn't want to be Jimmy Jr. It's not even a big deal. Besides the fact he told me he didn't want to be Jimmy Jr. and Tina with me, which is totally fine. It's okay. I don't care. And then he's like, and then I was like,
Okay. I don't know if I'm getting older. I don't know what it is. When I was a young man, I could put up with that. You know what I'm saying? Even a part of me would be like, oh, you know. But the older I get, that's just nails on a chalkboard for me. Ugh. God, the last thing I want to do. Can you imagine, right? You just worked 10 hours. Somebody, your girlfriend calls you on the phone. You pick up the phone and you hear this on the other side.
he left me on red. After I was like, okay, what about this one? And it's the Barons. And he leaves me on red at 106, and I checked my phone at 118, and he left me on red. So I said, forget it, with a period. It's not even that big of a deal, but...
Ugh.
Just why not?
Just nails on a. Ugh.
Why not?
I can't deal with this.
what the
Right.
A lot of men are about to get offended by what I'm going to say. But I'm going to say it anyway because it's true. To me it is anyway. I personally believe, right, there are more attractive women in the world than there are attractive men because beauty and beauty standards has always been targeted towards women. So with that in mind, it is a lot harder to find really attractive men. And I mean like insanely attractive men, not just the average. I mean men you look at and do like a double take because you're just...
Of course, right? Of course. Why is it when we have these discussions, it's always, oh, I'm talking about the 0.001%.
just insanely in awe of how beautiful they are. Which brings me to my main point, that sometimes we as women, when these very attractive men come into our lives, tend to lose sight of our boundaries because they are so good looking that being in their presence and looking at them makes you feel giddy, and you're like, I don't really see that many men that look like you. And so if you're willing to not try as hard as them, I'm willing to accept that. But we need to stop doing that because it's not good. Just because they're attractive doesn't mean they can treat you like garbage. And I know that sucks because I've been there where a really attractive guy...
Of course, I've been there. We really need to stop doing this. Where she says that after the fact that she's been through this. And I'm sure she'll go through it and she's just talking.
We planned something where it was essentially him just coming to mine after we had met. And initially I said yes. And then I reviewed the whole situation. I was like, look, if he wasn't this good looking and just a normal guy had asked you the same thing, you would have said no. You would have straight away been like, no, you're not coming around my house. I don't know you like that. Plus, it's not a nice second way to meet. I need to get to know you better, blah, 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 blah. 100%. If he hadn't been as attractive as he was, I would have said no.
That's the biggest part, because notice how she knows exactly what she's doing. This is why I don't really feel bad. They know exactly what they're doing. They're still like, I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. And that's one of the things, again, and I talk about this a lot, like back when I was really like heavy into women and trying to get women and being a player and all this other stuff, you learn that each woman, I call it a combination lock. Each woman has a combination lock. And as a man, it's your job to figure out, am I the right combination for this key? But if you're trying to rack up as many options as possible, then you don't care what key. You're just trying to see like which key fits this hole, like which key. And what you realize very, very soon, if you're persistent in trying to build up your roster, is that you'll notice that there are a lot of you think that, or at least the average, at least what I thought that women have these really complicated locks that you had to figure out all these things, but that's not true at all. You figure out very quickly that some women have very easy locks, and you just need something about you that's able to unlock it. So for her, she said very attractive, right? There's other girls out there that if you have a six pack, you're in. This is why like self-improvement guys, they give you this basic advice of like, oh, just dress better, oh, just blah blah blah, because there are girls out there that will respond purely just off of that. And the more that you can combine those things together, the more that you're gonna get. But yeah, if you know how to dress, girls who really are into fashion, that you're in. And it's like, if you did not know how to dress, or you didn't have a six pack, or you didn't have money, or you weren't good looking, you weren't gonna get the result. That's why like most self-improvement guys, they just talk about like, oh, fix this, fix this, fix this, because they're trying to get you to run into that girl that doesn't give a about anything else other than that one thing that you have to unlock that safe. So listen, full video to this down below. If you want me to make more content like this, type in more content. Let me know what you guys thought, and I'll go see you guys on the next one. All right, peace out.